What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hope everybody is doing fantastic this Friday. And there's also that finisher Friday. So let's see how the market's going to finish out this week. And get ready for the weekend. All right. NFL kicked off last night in game one. Lions stunning and beating the Chiefs. Didn't stun the money line, though. Most of the money was actually on the Lions to cover the spread last night. All right. So, what do we have going on today? Let me take a look here in this 1 minute. Yeah, kind of an interesting past 10 minutes right there. Drop down, buy back up. All right. So, SPY. Let's see. Not really much happened yesterday afternoon. Just kind of went sideways. I was on the mic yesterday, it dropped off, and then started rallying. I got off the mic. Basically was kind of flat at the last hour yesterday. Today, pretty much a flat open, got bought up first hour or so. And it's been kind of flat, little down ever since. Not horribly bearish, but yeah, I mean it's not breaking down. This is where, I mean this over the past hour, you were wanting to see this break down if you were bearish. It's not breaking down, so I would say we're probably just going to push higher. Yeah, as we go into close. Anyway, that's just kind of the way I look at it. So you did have a very nice kind of like triple top high, lower highs coming in here, and we had a nice little support level also right here around 445.90 or so. And we got below it, but I mean we just traded sideways right at that level. And so yeah, you want to see it break down over the past hour. I just don't think I just think since it didn't, I don't know if we will. Honestly, it might just slowly grind higher as we go into close for the end of the week. Anyways, that's kind of just the way I look at it right now. I mean, time can always change. But we do have, some bearishness that came in this week. Tuesday, Wednesday were kind of bearish. Even Thursday, huge gap down on Thursday. And, still, we're kind of just retesting into those daily moving averages. I mean, we could just be rolling back over. We'll see how the thing's going to shape up. Looking at the weekly time frame, you had a strong push last week. Looks like you just kind of retest with a nice little lower wick on a weekly time frame this week, right in that 10 weekly EMA. So, I mean, we could definitely push higher here over the next few weeks. Honestly, we're kind of in a situation where weekly says we might push higher just because last week looks kind of bullish. But the daily looks like it might have started to roll back over from late last week and then into the beginning of this week. Remember, we've only had one positive day this week, and that's today. I'd imagine we probably do close out today in the positive territory. Yeah, we're not seeing a great deal of bearishness or really like extreme bullishness today, but so it can kind of go either way. We'll just have to wait and see. Qs, yeah, a little bit more sideways today. Kind of strong initial 30 minutes to an hour. Nice pop here recently. AAPL came back for some vengeance today. Nice pop. First really 15 minutes, and it's just been sideways the whole day. IWM dropped early, but came back up. About to the neutral line. It's been hopping around the neutral line a lot. Neutral line's about right there. So, okay. DIA sideways initially. A little bit of a pop there. Kind of sideways for the rest of the day. RSP dropped, popped, and then it's kind of rolled back over until here recently. Okay. So tech should have been holding up during that time period. It looks like it was. Yeah, it looks like it was. We got the Federal Reserve balance sheet data came out. Ooh, Federal Reserve balance sheet. Second week in a row, they increased a pretty good amount. Okay, so I guess they're just lying. They don't want to reduce the balance sheet. It's not much you can do, man. When they say, "Hey, we're going to do this," but they don't do it. VIX dropping pretty good amount today. Remember, the market's not down a whole lot, but the VIX is down pretty good. Or I mean, sorry, the market's not up a whole lot, but the VIX is down pretty good. Dollar continues to look really, really good here. I mean, looking at that dollar move, huge lower wick coming in today. I was kind of watching it this morning, just after this initial drop off. It just climbed, just kept climbing back, and I was like, ooh, that's rough. I'm really kind of surprised the market didn't roll over more, and that that rally that we had on the dollar might have really was probably putting a lot of pressure on stocks to stop going higher. Because once it started really running back higher, let's see, once it stopped dropping and started rallying around 910, we'll say 910 about 940. What was the market doing? So, yeah, 910 about right here, and then the dollar started rallying pretty good, and then yeah, you can see that equity markets just stopped going up, even started pulling back a little bit. Dollar's just staying strong. Dollar's just staying strong. Taking a look at your gold. Gold had a nice little upper wick today. Dollar keeps moving higher. I'm really kind of surprised gold's staying as strong as it is. Next time dollar rolls over, precious metals like gold, GLD, silver might be looking really good. Silver, though, kind of hanging out today. Gold not dropping as much here the past couple of days like silver was. But silver saw a pretty good run over the previous couple of weeks. 10-year yield, nice little lower wick today. So far, kind of looks like the dollar there a little bit. Looking pretty good. Probably just going to slowly push back up to this high that we put in back in late August. And then my guess is it probably just keeps going higher. A lot of people not expecting that to go higher. So if nobody's expecting it, probably going to happen. 10 to 2-year yield curve inversion, kind of flat, not doing a whole lot. Okay. Bonds, HYG, basically flat, but gapped up, trading down. Okay. LQD, gapped up, it's kind of flat from the open. All right. About TLT. TLT is pretty much flat from its open, gapped up, nice little retest higher into the little moving averages coming down. Okay. Take a look, sector rotation. Energies are doing really well today. Okay, energies are doing really well. Utilities, tech, communications, XLC doing pretty good, outperforming the market. Financials are basically in line with the market. Materials, discretionaries, a little bit of underperforming there. Some underperforming sectors: healthcare, staples, industrials, and real estate. Okay. Okay. There's like no gaps, so there shouldn't be much different. Oh, there is some difference, actually. Well, energies definitely had a pretty good gap. You can see they're not as high, outperforming as much. Utilities kind of gapped down a little bit. Utilities looks like they gapped down, and now they've been getting bought up. Tech, financials, materials, XLC, healthcare, staples, discretionary, all underperforming the market right there. Not a great deal, but industrials and real estate are really kind of lagging behind. A lot of those are getting sold off today. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look and see how the week is going. For the week, XLE entities are doing pretty good. Utilities are doing pretty good. XLC, XLY doing pretty good. Staples, real estate, financials also doing pretty good. The laggers for the week, healthcare is also in line with the market for the week. Laggers for the week, tech, materials, and industrials. Okay. All right. It's kind of like an interesting mix. It's like everything's kind of just mixed around today, this week. What I want to do is I want to look at the weekly. Really kind of keep my eye on this. Because we break down, I mean, we are right at the bottom end of any kind of bullish pattern. So if we break down, especially next week, if we break down a little bit, like we're in no man's land. I mean, we're at the bottom end of this. I mean, to me, we are in no man's land, but we just get one more week lower. I mean, it's basically, we've just never seen a situation like this before. So we'll see what happens next week. It's always fun. Always a good time. All right, the SPY. Let me get back to the SPY. So, that changes some things. Who hit the sell button? Oh my goodness. So we might be selling into close. I mean, that's a drop. Like, we hadn't seen that for the past like couple hours. That's that's a mover. So that will definitely change the way the daily and weekly So daily now is throwing a pretty good upper wick in the 10 and 20. Weekly, I mean, there's no way we sell back down and get to 442 today. I mean, 442 and a half. Where would that be? I mean, we'd have to break like yesterday's low. Yeah, we would have to break like yesterday's low in the last hour. I don't think we do that. Yeah, we'd have to get down to 442 or so. I don't think we do that. No way. Yeah, that just kind of came out of nowhere. But you can see the volume was just dying off there for a little bit, just getting really kind of thin. Okay. All right. This might be an interesting hour then. Let's take a look. Apple not doing a great deal today. I mean, yesterday's gap down was just so large. It's going to take some time for it to sell out. Probably rolls back over eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if it's bullish here in the next couple days. As we go into Tuesday, as that's when the iPhone event is, I believe. That's when it's iPhone event. Be careful before acting on rumors about Nvidia or any other stock. What's going on with Apple stock? Apple faces Chinese iPhone. Yep, ban, whatever. So, yeah, next week there should be an iPhone event on Apple. Typically, it's bullish going into it, so that's why you're probably seeing it get bought up from yesterday's open, even into today. Probably be a little bit bullish on Monday. Microsoft having a pretty good day, up over 1.25%. All right. But definitely coming back down here for the past 10 minutes. So Microsoft, Alphabet. Alphabet's looking good. I mean, it's a nice steady uptrend throughout the whole day up until the past like 10, 20 minutes, or past like 10, 15 minutes. Meta. Very strong pop on the open, but again, another day, it just is not holding over 300. Man, I'd probably be dipping my toes in to be more bearish here. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Nice breakdown here with the past 5 minutes too. So Meta, Amazon. Amazon got caught with that sell-off right there. Amazon's not looking too bad though. Tesla. Ooh, Tesla's down a little bit over 1.5%. Tesla's been selling down quite a bit today. First 5 minutes were strong, but after that, it's had a choppy past, week and a half or so. Tesla. All right. Nvidia. Gap down, got bought up first 15 minutes, rolled over then for an hour. Rolled over for about an hour. Nice bullishness for about an hour. It's been selling back down ever since. A little midday pop. Yeah, it's down below the 10 and 20 EMAs. Looking like it's probably going to head for that 50 EMA, which it's bounced off of a couple times before. AMD is currently 0.5% negative. Nice upper wick on the daily here on AMD. First 20 minutes was very strong, and it just kept getting sold off throughout the day. Yep, nice upper wick there on AMD. Okay, Intel's been looking really good past 2 weeks. Intel's been doing good things. Oh, a little bit of an upper wick today. Nice strong pop on the open. It's been coming down ever since. Okay. AVGO. AVGO is pretty flat today. Pretty flat. Okay. Texas Instruments. Yeah, not really. Kind of a choppy day there on TXN. I think this thing actually breaks down. Just because, man, this low here, I mean, it's right on top of this 164 area. I think it does break that down. That's Texas Instruments. Qualcomm. Qualcomm looking like it's going to probably just continue breaking down. Nice sideways chop today. Just choppy. Now it's coming back down. Okay, Qualcomm. What else is there? Is that mostly it? Micron. I always forget Micron. Micron's been doing okay. Had a very nice, strong finish to August. Very, very nice, subtle, like flag pattern here for September. So yeah, looking pretty good there. Flag pattern. Micron not looking too bad there. All right. So yeah, tech looking okay today. What is this big red thing? DHR. DR Horton, right? Danaher Corporation. They are getting hit. Wow. Health technology, medical specialties. Down pretty good, over 3% today. Okay. Check crude. I'm gonna check the energy markets real quick. 'Cause they're doing pretty good today. Crude oil looking pretty good there. Gasoline futures throwing a nice upper wick. Nice upper wick there. I mean, they're still having a pretty positive day. They were just a very strong pop there in the overnight session, it looks like. Okay, and then Exxon. Okay, pushing higher. I was kind of concerned about this level because we were seeing a couple upper wicks being thrown by a lot of these energy stocks. You see Exxon here has 2 this week, but today it kind of ended out with a nice full body. So far, full body. Higher. A Chevron, yep, moving higher. Okay. ConocoPhillips, moving a little bit higher. Valero, popping higher, 4%. There you go. MRO, up over 2.5% there on MRO. MPC, up over 2.5%. Okay. Okay. I did look at Tesla. I just forgot what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's what it looks like. Basically down to session lows for Tesla. Let's see what else. Kind of curious. How does the monthly picture look for SPY? Okay. Let me see here. All right, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, doesn't look horrible yet. We get below August. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of pain. That's just what I would expect. McDonald's, Deer's down quite a bit. Deer didn't really gap down. Very minor gap down, but you can see that even the past like hour, 30 minutes here, Deer just getting slaughtered, man. Getting some venison off that Deer. Caterpillar ain't down. Man, what's going on with Deer? Is there some headline? Let's go. Nope. Deer's just having a bad day. Applied Materials and LRCX. AMAT down a little bit, sideways. LRCX. Nice little upper wick, selling down. Okay. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to look at. We'll. Yeah, we did look at Federal Reserve balance sheet data. That's right, it did go higher. That's it, man. That's all it takes. It doesn't take long to kind of just get an idea of what the market's doing. Real quick to do the homework. Real quick. Any major news? I don't think there was any like major economic stuff that came out this morning. Yeah, it was a very quiet week. We got ISM services PMI was that Wednesday morning, so it's been a pretty quiet week. Next week, Next week, September 13th, I believe that is Wednesday. Wednesday morning, we get the big one. We get CPI again. And year over year rate, yep, 3.6% forecast. That makes sense. If the monthly rate is supposed to go to 0.6%, it makes sense. That'll be a big deal next week, CPI on Wednesday. After that, we also get PPI Thursday morning, retail sales as well. Friday morning, we get Consumer Michigan, the Consumer Sentiment Survey, I believe. Yes. Yeah. So that's at least the stuff in America, though. All the other stuff, it'll impact things, but who knows? I kind of wanna. I'm gonna run through. It's Friday. Let's see. I'm gonna look through some of the different regions. The world stock index very much always looks like the SP 500, the SPY. Europe has not had a great start to September. They're looking kind of dire. And this is another thing that the U.S. actually has an issue. In my opinion, the U.S. stock index, um, is the rest of the economies around the world are not doing well. China, you can see China here. I mean, they had a bad August. China had a bad August. I mean, they tried to rally a little bit there at the end of August, but you can see China here recently is dropping off as well. Hong Kong, Japan. How's Japan doing? Kind of looks like China, not as bad. Kind of looks like China, just not as bad. Switzerland, France. Let's see, Germany. Germany not looking all that great. The UK not looking all that great. It's just, I mean, you can just tell the difference between like China, Europe, SPY. SPY looks so much better this year than most of the other major markets around the world, like U.S. or China, Europe. It's just Latin America not looking all that great. Australia not looking all that great. That was Mexico. Mexico, man, what happened this day? August 31st, they got crushed. So this is all international stocks, not U.S. And where is? I mean, yeah, you basically just look at SPY. Yeah, and I guess to be pretty honest, I mean, it's not like the U.S. is even doing like fantastic. I mean, because you're just looking at the IWM, and it's not like the IWM's been having a great year. It's not like the IWM's had a great year. I mean, it's pretty choppy, sideways. It's just big tech. It's just big tech. It's just the Qs, man. I think it was what was it the other day? I think we looked at the Qs. The year to date performance was like 42% year to date, and I think the SPY was like 13, 14%, and then like the IWM and the RSP was like 6 and 8%. It was nothing. It's all in the Qs. Um, all right. Let's check any news headlines. Anything going on? Let's see. Stocks rise as Fed officials hint at rate respite. Sorry. All right. Apple's sell off on China concerns overblown. I don't. People defend their walled gardens, even analysts and investors. They will defend their walled gardens and their precious apples and their precious Microsofts. But when you're starting to see a change of allowing tech to infiltrate every aspect of your society, and you kind of got to pay attention, man. So overblown, maybe not. Um, Fed Williams says monetary policy is a very good place. Is that a very good place? Okay. Another sign the labor market is losing steam. Charter CEO isn't flinching the $2.2 billion rumble with Disney and ESPN. Some of those negotiations that get done, like TV deals and stuff like that, I would love to be a fly on the wall on some of that stuff. Ten U.S. companies face much larger problems in China than Apple. Interesting. Oh, and I bet you a majority of this list is semiconductors. Oh man, you're gonna take me out of the site. Okay, well at least I can still see it. Get off the screen. My freaking gosh, dude. How many ads can we fit into one web page? 10 stocks, Qualcomm, Texas Instruments, right? I mean, monolithic power. I mean, what did I say? Semiconductors. Let's see, are you gonna list all 10 though? So monolithic power, exposure to China, Qualcomm, monolithic power, Texas Instruments, NXP Semiconductors, yep, Broadcom Semiconductors, by Viatris, don't know that one, but apparently it's healthcare. Albemarle Materials, Corning, On Semiconductor, another semiconductor. Applied Materials, they provide semiconductor equipment, so I could say that's semiconductor as well. So yeah, a lot of semiconductors exposure to China there. Okay. Semiconductors is a big deal just because it. I mean, they've started to make up a lot bigger part of the growth of the U.S. stock market. So I'd be much more careful if things start to go bad with semiconductors. Other than that, man, there's not much going on today. I mean, it's a pretty quiet day. We're flat. We popped initially. We kind of rolled over. Beginning of the hour, we had some really funky drop. I would have a hard time believing that this is done selling down, honestly, because we had this pretty good drop here. Then we had, really over the past 20 minutes, I wanted to see what happened, but we had this nice little sideways action here. And I mean, I can see us breaking down. I can see that happening because we're not really bouncing. We're just sideways consolidating. And these moving averages will push down the price. So, I wouldn't expect anything crazy. I don't expect anything crazy, but I wouldn't be shocked if we have a negative day now, and that would make every day this week a negative day. It would be a bearish, or it would be a red day. I know we had a green day yesterday, but that's bullishness from the open. We were actually down day over day because we had a huge gap down yesterday. So that'd be every day this week. We would be negative if we closed negative today, and that would be very interesting to see how that would look on the weekly, and also how it's going to look on the daily. Because right now, I mean, the SPX, we're just looking at it. The SPX is getting really close to not being in any one of those bullish trend scenarios. And you could say with this week, I mean, we are breaking below all of those trend scenarios. So, I mean, next week if we don't see the rally come in next week, we're just in no man's land. No possible scenario to plan for. Just got to keep following whatever plan you got. That's all I got for today for this week. I'll get the market outlook video out, but yeah. We'll see what happens next week. You got plenty of time. You don't have to be crazy about anything. Alpha Hunters, have a great weekend. Take care. Enjoy that football.